Welcome back to Shadows over Legaria, everybody. I am your DM, TGE, and we have here with us almost the full crew. We're still missing one, but something. I think it's a wrestling pay-per-view. I don't know. We'll keep throwing.
Money in the Bank is tonight.
We'll keep throwing shade at him at some point. But anyway, these are the rest of our heroes. We've got Chameleon Ice. We've got Cameraless Crimson Avix. We've got Norestra. We've got OPT Lawyer. And as I mentioned, this is Shadows over Legaria. It's been a couple of weeks, but that's okay, because last time was kind of a little downtimey session, a little bit. We had lots of drama on the boat, and you got to explore the Silver City of Argenti just a little bit. And, oh yeah, some interesting information came out over dinner.
Not to mention the fact that we got to experience like Angry Father, Angry Crim Daddy, and that was literally the best part of that session.
Angry Dad's night was awesome.
Angry Crim Dad was amazing.
Yes, so what they're referencing is while you were still on the boat waiting for the sort of like the dam to fill up to let you into the capital, Kite kind of went on an Angry Dad rampage on the boat. Went and found the prince, who had basically stormed off after having a fight with Chloe about the combat tactics. And, well, I can't do the description justice, so my suggestion to you, if you're watching this live, when you're done, go to the YouTube. If you watch this on YouTube, pause this right now, go back to episode 8, and watch Kite absolutely eviscerate the prince, because there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to do it justice. Before that, though, Ponzi was able to plant his catnip, so he has a catnip plant, and was recruited by Llewellyn to go and talk to Chloe. In doing so, they had a nice conversation where Chloe was kind of half cat because she kind of messed up the casting of an author self spell.
Didn't go as planned.
No, it did not go as planned at all. The best part about this was the conversation was happening in Chloe's room, and through the vent in Chloe's room, the vent was connected to the room Kiara was in, so Kiara got to chime in during this argument. It was a thing that happened. So we had the stuff in the ship. Then, when you arrived in the Cinderbrook Keep, the capital city Argenti here, you were met by. Pardon me for the thing there. You were met by the Chancellor Margrave, who was very shocked to see just the prince and a crew of people he had no clue who they were. Got the quick and dirty rundown from what was happening, and basically gave you guys a little sigil symbol thing that basically was, as far as you know, at least paying for food while you were in the city on the royal family's dime. You were set up with some rooms, and then you went off to a restaurant. I forget the exact name of it. It was a place that Chloe knew.
It was called the Silver Salmon.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That Chloe knew from being a student at the Mage College here.
Of course, Kira ordered like every seafood dish she could possibly. Because
yes. So fun times were had by all until Kiara got drunk. It was at this point where she revealed unknowingly that she happened to be Chloe's pen pal. And Chloe panicked and freaked out and ran. And ended up alone back in her dormitory at the mage school, which I have the name for it here somewhere in my notes.
So, can I just say that I feel right now that Chloe freaking out about something should now be added to the bingo card?
Agreed. 100% agreed.
I love it.
It's not her fault.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's 100% her thing.
It is.
Yes. She ran off without Llewellyn, who hitched a ride back with Kite because she just left him there. And when the other three did get back to Cinderbrook Keep, there were some presents on their bed for them. Kite got the mysterious token of echoes. Kiara got the mysterious bells of silence. And Ponzi got the bag of wondrous randomization. And with that...
We don't know what Chloe got because she didn't go back to her room.
Right, we do not know what Chloe got. If she got anything at all. And the other thing is, well, who left the tokens? Who are they from? What's going to happen throughout the city while you wait for Princess and the King and the Queen to get back? And more importantly, what's life like for Chloe back in the dorms again?
Yeah.
We'll find out today. Actually, we're going to find out right now because, as we mentioned, this is Shadows over Legaria, Episode 9, Old Friends. And we're going to start with Chloe. And I'm actually going to put the impetus immediately on you, Chammy, so I'm apologizing ahead of time. But
Thanks.
please, describe Chloe's dorm room.
Oh, joy. She probably still used it enough, so it's like it's been emptied. It's actually probably full of books, of course, but it's also full of lots of scrolls that have a lot of calligraphy practice, because she actually practices her lettering a lot. And she's interested in languages and cultures and such, so there's a lot of different kind of nicks and knacks when it comes to writing, comes to lettering. It's also, of course, a dorm room, so that means it's super tiny. But it also contains some of her older clothing. Do we have cameras in this place? I have no idea if that's a thing. Magic cameras? But at the very least, there is also probably a ratty old, probably a stuffed, plush cat that she probably had stuffed away in her dorm room that she just kind of left there from home. But otherwise, it's, a pretty basic dorm. More functional than it is, pretty.
All right, so I'm assuming Chloe is going to spend the entire night there, bookless.
Probably her intention. Yeah. Oh, don't rub
I think
it
the
in.
book's with Kira, isn't it?
It is. Or to whoever took it.
Yeah. Whoever took it, whether it was Kite or it was either Kite or Kiara. It wasn't Ponzi.
I'm pretty sure it was Kira. It was Kira who took Llewellyn. Yeah, I made a point to do that.
It wasn't Ponzi, is all we know. Yes, bookless, friendless, spellless.
I'm not spellless. I have a pouch.
Without your book, you can't. Without a spell book, a wizard can't do spells.
With a component pouch and the spells I've memorized, I can do it. I can't memorize new spells.
So, semi-spellless.
Semi-spellless. I can still be resourceful.
But yes, that's where we are going to start. With you waking up the next morning, alone in the dorm room.
So,
on the campus of the Elnac Institute of Magic.
Yes, you remembered. You wrote it down, I'm sure. Yeah, so Chloe's probably waking up with her hair all frazzled and such because she's been burying her face into her pillow. She figures out what to do and still doesn't have an answer. So she does her best to kind of get herself all cleaned up and mostly prim and proper before she looks in the mirror. Decides that she has to leave eventually and probably get her book back at least. So she leaves her dorm room.
So as you are making your way out, you sort of turn around the corner on campus, just a random spot on the campus, and you bump into somebody who you recognize, and it is quite possibly the teacher who you least like here in the school.
Oh no.
The necromancy professor, an elvish professor, Zinsatra Nightshine.
Holy cow, that's a name.
That is a name.
That is a name.
Wait, we teach necromancy at a magic school nowadays?
Necromancy is an accepted form of magic, just resurrecting bodies is not.
Correct.
Okay.
Because Ray of Sickness is technically necromantic.
There's a lot of good necromantic spells that actually are pretty useful.
Exactly.
Wait,
Transfer Life is pretty
she's
nice.
A teacher? She looks like an angsty teenager.
She looks like a snake. Well, she's an elf.
Okay, one, she's an elf. Two, this was page 8 of the art, and I was done looking, okay?
Fair enough.
So, a little bit of history for those in the know here, or at least for you specifically, Chammy. Professor Zin, because no one wants to call her Zin Satra, is a necromancy teacher and isn't the biggest fan of yours because Professor Zin is like your quote-unquote friend Merwina, believing that the enchanted spellbook Llewellyn should have gone to an elf and not a human, specifically Merwina. So this is probably the worst person for you to bump into.
Oh, I'm vulnerable right now. That's bad.
Yep.
Especially when you don't actually have Llewellyn because you left him behind.
She doesn't need to know that.
It's Llewellyn. He's not yapping his mouth. She'll know something's up.
Shoot.
So yes, you turn the corner and you bump into Professor Zinn.
I try to walk fast.
Oh, you're back early from your trip. Everything okay?
Yes, everything is fine. I was just stopping by. I'm just leaving right now, Professor.
Without your book?
No, my book is waiting for me.
So you came back without your book?
Yes, Professor.
I like I'm trying to think of something to say. Okay, fine, yes.
Why would you leave something like that in somebody else's head?
I don't know. It was a spur of the moment decision.
I'm not very responsible.
No, Professor.
If I knew where Professor Real Quick was, I would give him a piece of my mind, right?
You don't know where he is?
Nobody has seen him since you left. Speaking of which, I'm assuming everything's done, so where's Merwina as well? Have you seen her?
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't.
Where is Merwina? Have you seen her?
Last I saw her, she was an Eagle's Guard.
Probably just ran into some trouble along the way, although I haven't been able to reach her in a couple of days.
How long has it been? Is that what you asked?
No, I said she said hasn't been able to reach her in the past couple of days.
I'm sure she's quite all right. She definitely is very independent-minded. So maybe she doesn't want to be reached. But what was that about Professor Real Creek being missing?
Nobody's seen him since you left.
Who was? Is there any idea of where he might have gone?
If there was an idea of where he'd gone, do you think I would be wondering where he was?
Well, I wasn't sure if a proper investigation had been done. But no, I suppose
a powerful wizard, and it's technically not an on-campus season right now. So no one's going to go look for a wizard who might just be on sabbatical. But usually, he leaves a note.
I see.
But no one's been able to get into his office since you left either.
Nobody's gone into his office?
No one's been able to.
As in, the door's been locked?
Magically, there's been some wards on it, and nobody quite knows the way to get through.
I see.
Unless, of course, you do.
Well, I wouldn't presume to know his wards, but I might at least be interested in taking a look, especially if he might be in some sort of trouble.
If you do come across anything, not that you will, let me know.
Absolutely,
And
Professor.
she does the little, she pushes her hair out of her face and considers to walk off. And go ahead and give me an insight check.
Insight is here. Not bad.
Okay, that was the nicest she's ever been to you. So something is clearly bothering her. And the fact that she didn't, insofar as say it, but the fact she just asked you for help, you know something is the matter.
She's unexpectedly nice. That is bad, yes.
Unexpectedly nice. This is horrible.
So, Chloe's going to hurry over to her professor's office, because she's clearly been there before. She's going to try to investigate
absolutely
that.
know Professor Wilfrey's office. So you get yourself to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, Professor Zinn was correct to a point. There are wards on the door, but they don't stop you. You can walk right in.
Fascinating. All right.
It's
walk in,
exactly as you remember it.
I make sure to close the door behind me.
Yeah, so the office is just as you remember it. Window overlooking the area, books and bookcases everywhere, and the couch in the back that looks way more comfy than it actually is. A quick glance gives you that nothing looks out of place. The clutter looking to you as it always has.
Huh. Well, I'm definitely going to look around, because the fact that it's locked to everybody but me like that is extremely strange.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow.
You definitely beat the DC I had set for this.
Yay!
So, as you're looking around, something catches your eye in one of the stacks of books. Now, normally, he's got stacks of books everywhere. But this one is different because it's a book you don't recognize in the stacks. It's very old-looking and unlabeled. Do you approach and try and grab it?
I would detect magic, but it's a wizard's office.
Yeah. Yes. What is yes?
Yeah. Detect magic. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab it because I trust him. Let's do this. Made enough bad decisions tonight.
Okay. So you pull out this book from the stack. It's very old and ratty looking, but there is a bookmark on a page. The page in question is talking about something called a palimpsest.
A what?
Palimpsest. I will put the spelling in the chat for you.
Thank you. That didn't help. I have no idea what that is. Okay.
Well, you got a DC 25 investigation check, so I'm going to help you out a little bit.
Thanks, buddy.
Mm-hmm. So you're able. It's written in sort of like a weird hybrid of like an arcane language plus Elven plus Common. It's a really weird thing. But you've been know the professor enough to understand his shorthand. Mm-hmm. So the notes basically scrawled in the margins that were translate a little bit to what palimpsests are.
Okay.
And palimpsests are crystals that have had their identifying characteristics removed. They are mostly used in illegal magic activity.
That's not good.
Yes. With a 25, I will also give you a little bit more information that you find scrawled in another margin, that palimpsests mostly are used to transport people who have been trapped inside the crystal while avoiding magical detection. Very popular amongst the slave trade.
Who want to avoid magical detection?
Right. The palimpsest itself has had all of its identifying characteristics stripped from it. So if anyone were to effectively cast Detect Magic on a palimpsest, it would just be a normal gem to their detect magic.
Why would Master Ropley have anything about this? Something like, well, are there notes about it, or like him using it, or is it just like that's just kind of like one of the things that's highlighted?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Asking lots of questions. That's a 20.
Okay. Where this was shoved back into the pile of books, it looks like he was researching it because it was in his pile of books that he uses for research. But it was placed in such a way that only someone who knew what to look for would find the book out of place. So it's like this was placed here for someone to find before something happened.
Someone.
And it was a door that was locked, but open only to me. Can I take this book? Would I happen to know if this book is considered contraband?
Considering it's talking about illegal magical objects, you're pretty sure it's a contraband book.
Gotcha.
Basically, to steal an absolutely trite description, this 100% is from the restricted section.
Huh. Fair enough. Okay. I didn't take the message spell where I could copy text and just keep it magically. I'm gonna take... Oh, this hurts me as a librarian. I'm gonna see if I can rip out these pages that are talking about this.
Why not just take the book?
Because I have nowhere to really store it effectively.
Right, Shammy, I'm going to need you personally, yourself, not the character Chloe, you personally, to make a will save, see if you can tear up pages of a book.
Let's see. Yep. I got a 3.
So you probably can't. Chloe can if she wants to, but you definitely can't.
I'm definitely going to take these pages so I can fold them up and put them inside my robes. Easier to hide that way.
Give me a strength check.
What?
Give me a strength check.
Oh, right, because I'm pulling out pages, right.
From a magical book.
That would be a magic check. Oh, how do I do a strength check? There it is.
You said you were pulling out pages.
That's true.
I know. I'm a wizard, Harry. Darn it.
You go to pull this page, and your hand slides. The page doesn't. And
paper cut.
Hold on a second. A nasty paper cut.
Oh, it's a magical paper cut. Oh gosh.
You take 1 point of slashing damage from the paper cut.
Ah. Fine. I'm gonna see if I can hide this book inside my voluminous robes.
Go ahead and actually do me one
have like
favor.
a satchel with you?
Well,
I do have a bag, really. So
well, as you cut your hand on this book, and it's a paper cut, so it's not a big cut, but there's a couple of drops of blood.
Yeah.
One other thing you notice is that the blood that's on the paper from where you cut your hand, doesn't stay in the paper. It gets absorbed into the book.
Oh dear.
That sounds creepy.
That's probably worse.
Okay, that's super bad. I'm gonna see if I can. I just put this book in my bags and try to sneak it out. I'm gonna cast invisibility on the book.
You cast invisibility on the book.
As I put it in my bag, yes.
Okay. You cast invisibility on the book.
Sweet.
Do me a favor.
What's up?
Make a will save or a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
You think this is stupid and don't do it.
If anybody checks my bags, they're not gonna find it.
That's not why I'm having you make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
No, I'm
entirely different.
Arguing with Kira from Beyond.
No.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, I love when the GM says noted.
So Chloe tucks the book inside her bag, makes it invisible, which means by the spell slot, and she makes her way out of there. Because I'm not gonna probably find anything else in here right now. Yeah. There's no notes or anything, right? Yeah.
That's all you found. Like you okay. with the 25, you are 99.99% certain.
Great.
That is all that there was to be found in this office.
Good to know.
Where are you heading from there?
This is important and more important than my little concerns. So I'm going to head back to the keep that I know people are supposed to be staying at.
Okay. We're going to shuffle over to the keep. And let's see. Who are we going to do next? Oh. Kiara, I said you.
Hi.
So, it's the next morning. You've gotten your little bells.
Yes.
That ring but don't ring.
I was going to say, it's weird to have bells that make you more stealthy, but okay.
Yes. So it's the next morning after Chloe's little, I'm sorry, I have to run away. You wake up with Llewellyn. What are you going to do?
She's going to arouse Llewellyn and be like, do you know what these bells do? Because I don't think she would actually know offhand what the bells do. I know what it is because I read the description, but...
Well, I mean, I can certainly check for you. Hold on. Let me scroll through, and you just hear the of a book pages turning rapidly like this. You can't hear it, but basically...
Right.
That thing.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Well, actually, I think I have heard of these before, miss. Let me take a look here, and he opens the page, and basically the page description you have here is what you now see on screen.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I had it open actually already.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so she's like, huh, that's interesting. So she accessorizes a bit and puts those on, probably like around either her neck or in her hairband. I'm not sure which. But she puts them on. Like, okay. Oh, I think I need a little water. I probably should have drank more last night before I went to bed.
Let's say you drank plenty last night, miss.
I said water.
You said you need water, and you said you should have drank more last night. I believe you drank plenty.
I did drink plenty last night, yes. Oh, gosh, I screwed up.
I don't believe you screwed up.
I didn't want her to know.
It was going to come up eventually.
I mean, yeah, but like the way it did is just not what I imagined when that moment occurred. It's a really nice letter, though.
Yes, but anyway, we should probably be doing something.
Where did she end up going? Because she didn't come into the keep last night, I don't think. I didn't see her.
I have some ideas. She probably went back to Elenak, but
Oh. Think we should go there, or do you think she's going to come here?
she'll have to come back eventually.
Fair enough.
She needs me. As much as she doesn't want to admit it, she needs me.
She did leave you behind, which is kind of strange.
You have that good of an impression, apparently.
Apparently. All right. So she picks up Llewellyn as like, you know, not roughly, like as gently as she can, because she doesn't know like how the book thing works. Not.
So as you open the door to leave, you open the door to the prince looking like he's about to knock at the door.
Ah!
Oh!
It's too early in the morning for this. What's going on, Prince? How can I help you?
Well, I heard you talking in there, and clearly it's the book. But so I know you had talked to my father about wanting to look in the library for some information. I heard you talking, so I figured if you wanted to know where it is, I could show you where it was.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's a great idea. Let me grab like an apple or something on the way out because I need something to eat. But yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Thank you for that.
I could just have some food sent to the library. Just
Oh.
no books out with liquids.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm good with that. Thank you.
Yes, if we got any of the books dirty, Mrs. McNamara would kill me.
I would not want that to happen.
No, I mean I've heard about librarians being very angry about things like that. Can you confirm that or not?
Not specifically. No, I can't say I've run into a librarian in my life.
I mean, I only met one, and if they're like every other librarian, they're cranky, and I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's lead the way, Prince Alwyn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, he told me to call him Alwyn when he was like, not in. So I was just lead the way, Alwyn. Let's go.
Yeah. Jamie, I love you, buddy.
Thank you.
So he takes you down to the library. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a nice little library map to go with, so we're just going to have to go with this.
It's okay.
And he
Dang,
goes,
that's a cool building.
Yeah. And he goes, well, so here is the library. Feel free to look around. He goes, you're looking for something a little bit older, so you're probably there in the back section of it, some of the older tomes. I don't know how much is going to be that you're looking for, but there is that. And I wish I could stay and help you out with this because I would love to learn more. But now that I'm back, I actually have to, pretend like I'm a prince.
Right. Yeah, I'd assume you'd have some royal duties to attend to. Thank you for showing me where the library was in this kind of massive city.
Yes, I'll have some apples sent down.
Thank you. I'll be in the back archives, I guess. Seems like a good place to start. So she rubs her head and kind of clears her head up and walks back towards the old ancient archive things. Back like almost to those books that you have to have it like in the separate room.
Yes, that's effectively what this is.
Right.
So, as with Chloe, I'm going to ask you as well to make me an investigation check.
Okay. Let's see, how good am I at that? Oh, I'm +2. That's not too bad.
Roll it with advantage because you have Llewellyn.
Oh, right. Okay. Do I just roll one more, or do you want me to roll? Okay.
Yep, just roll another one. That is much better.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, you're looking around like, what's going on? And Llewellyn's like, oh, you're looking for this? And he just like opens up and like a clamp machine clamps down. So it's like a book biting a book as he pulls it out. It's a little weird.
Right.
But at the same time, like, he flies over with the book. Like he's trying to fly, but he's like holding face down because the book is heavy.
She would step up and like take it from him before he strains himself or something like that.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate you finding this for me. I knew there was a good reason I brought you along. Figured you'd find books because you're
a book.
That's not stereotyping, is it?
No, I'm a book. Like I'm assuming you're better at finding cats than I am.
Very good point. I can smell them out. Okay. So she sits down at what I'm assuming is a table, like in this room area, and opens the book up and starts like paging through to see what she can find.
So. The book itself is written in a combination of Broken Common and Orin, which, as a Laguz, as a beast Laguz, you get Orin or not Orin as a language, but you would know that Orin is the language of the bird tribes.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. Yes, I'm not going to lie. I spent way too long trying to find a common to Orin translator to actually have the notes written in Orin for you. But they don't exist. I tried.
Ouch. I was just thinking more the bird tribe thing, which is, cat, bird, fun.
That was part of the joke.
Yeah.
But anyway.
She's reading it and she kind of sighs like, it's partially in Orin.
But you are able to translate some of what's in here. Specifically, some 3 journal entries.
Ooh.
And you find these. And I will be right back as you read those.
Okay. Where's my... I lost my window. There we are. Years of negotiation finally happened. I don't know how to pronounce their names. Finally united everyone, and not a moment too soon. I sense trouble coming to. Don't know how to pronounce that. And we're going to be united in one front. Given all as humans, more than I've ever seen, more chance. Huh.
Ooh.
Damn those humans. There's a 3rd entry that you can't see yet. Damn those humans. Everything was fine until they showed up. Now there are barely any of us left, human or Laguz. I don't know what that was that came through the hole in the ground, but it wiped out platoons of soldiers without care in the world. I must hurry and deliver this news to our 4-legged brethren before it's too late. So she kind of tilts her head and is like, this is a journal from a Laguz tribe. Why would that be here? She's music to herself, basically.
I wouldn't know this.
Do I know these names, by the way?
Make an insight check. You do recognize the name Loraze.
Okay.
Loraze is a name spoken of in reverence and honor amongst all of the Laguz because Loraze, or Loraze, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to switch between both of them, so just don't at me. Kiki, this means you.
At Tej.
Was a member of the Heron tribe, specifically. I hate you all. For those watching, for those watching on YouTube, they added me in the Twitch chat. Orazai was a member of the Heron tribe who was able to unite all 3 of the bird tribes under one banner, which had never happened.
The bird tribes.
Yes.
But not any of the rest of us. Okay, Heron, gotcha. So she knows that much, gotcha.
Yes. And specifically the 3 tribes of generic tribes of bird lagoos are hawk, raven, and the heron.
Yeah, I got that. I actually printed out the PDF you gave me. I'm smart. Yeah. So she kind of looks up and she's like, I don't understand this. Like, the 3 bird tribes came together. I remember that much, but why is this journal here? It sounds like it was written by someone of the Lagoos tribe, but why would that book be here?
Yes. With the 19, as you're looking through the rest of the book, or basically as you go to put the book back, a small page falls out of it.
Oh.
And this is a piece of paper that looks as if it is from the same time as that book.
So obviously she reaches down, picks up the paper, and looks at it.
This is what's on the page from the old tome. The screams grew louder and louder as the fissure grew wider and wider. Chaos reigned over the battlefield as friend and foe alike ran panicked from the gash that had been opened. From that gash rose a haunting figure that will stay in my nightmares until I perished from this mortal coil. Her face was beautiful, but hollow. Her skin was fair yet haunting, and she was covered head to toe in an outfit that was both radiant and dim at the same time. Every time I close my eyes, I see her there, haunting me, and I can barely remember what happened. But in a snap of her fingers, it seemed like everyone was gone, and there was just a handful of people left, all who were on one knee for life.
She Infinity Glove them?
No, she did not Infinity Glove them. And you will notice that this is signed.
Yeah. She has this in her hands, she's staring at it like dumbfounded almost, as she reads this over and over and over again, and is even more like, why is there a note in this book from him? That's a him, right?
Yes, that was a him, yes.
Him. From him here. What is this about this gash? She looks over at Llewellyn like, do you have any knowledge at all about this gash in the ground from way back when? I can
certainly see what I can come up with this, although that's a bit farther back than my normal understanding.
Right.
I don't know much about that, but hold on, you hear the of the pages being turned in, and this one basically, like, Llewellyn's open, and he's basically open to the foreword of his book. Like, this is basically page 1.
Right.
He is at this point.
You have to open far.
I don't have much about that, but I do have a little bit of information about this Mulrath that was mentioned in the journal entries.
Apparently, that was a city of some kind or country.
No, neither. It was a woods. Used to be the home of all the bird tribes. Now Mulrath is just a dead, old, rotting, petrified forest on the border of Endarion and Niamende.
Oh, okay. I guess. So, wait. Tribes used to be here with the humans?
Again, this goes back way, way farther than my knowledge.
Piecing this together, though, where is that forest?
If you know how Legaria is laid out, it's basically threefold. We're at the top right now where we are in Tiranthal. Mm-hmm. Off to our east, where's where we came from in Endarion, or the southeast. Off to the southwest is Niamende. So basically, down at the border where Niamende and Endarion meet, at the very far south of that is Mulrath.
And the Legarians, the Lagoos tribes are where?
That's
nowadays?
Well, I mean, that's the problem. We don't know. You would know where your tribe is from.
That's what I mean. Like, where's her?
Oh, you're asking the DM. You're not asking in character. Okay.
Yeah, like where is the tribes at on this map of yours?
Well, I will leave that up to you if there's a specific spot you would like to be in. Although I pictured at least the Beast Lagoons where you were talking about to the south, like just outside the southern border of Niamende.
Okay. So it's not near this forest, basically.
Basically, if you're looking at a map here, I'm just going to sort of this would be where Molrath is.
Mm-hmm.
This off the map would be where you guys are way off.
Yeah, so it's far off, right?
Yeah. Basically, the best way I can describe it, I'll use the U.S. map. Molrath is Florida. The Lagoons, the Beast Tribes, are California.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. So she's staring at this like I don't know exactly. Like, we kind of know where some of the bird tribes are at. Obviously, we don't know where all of them are now, but
I mean, this would have been back way beforehand. So
that's what I mean. Like, this is telling me that the Lagoose tribes were actually closer to the humans than we are now. And it talks about them uniting, but I always had the impression that the humans used us.
Well, I mean, did the journal entries not mention waves and waves of everybody dying?
That's what. It does, which means it was more than just the humans sacrificing us. It was everyone. Like, she looks like her whole worldview is kind of starting to blow up. And she doesn't, and she's got that look like she doesn't want it to, but it's happening.
And that seems like a great place to leave this little scene for a minute. To switch over to die roll, please. Everyone's favorite angry dad, Kite.
What do you want?
What do you mean? What do I want? I'm just a DM.
I don't know. You're referring to me as an angry dad. The prince isn't around. I'm not angry.
Fair. So, it is the morning after the little incident at the Silver Salmon. You do have the token, however you want to affix that to it. But so, what is Kite doing on this fine morning here in the Silver City?
Kite has a little notebook, maybe 4x6, and he's just scribbling in it.
Huh? Is he in the room he was using? Is he somewhere specific?
He's in the room. He didn't leave yet.
Well, as this scribbling is going on, you hear a knock, knock, knock on the door.
Identify yourself.
Sorry, Kite. It's Kai.
Kai hears a little rustling. Hears a few thuds. And then the door creaks open. And it's pretty much Kite stretched out with his scythe, using that to open the door.
So he pushes the door open and sees that, just be like, if it was unlocked, I could have just opened it if you said to.
This is a lot more entertaining.
I guess it is.
What can I help you with?
Well, it's not that you can try to help me, I guess, but
you made this trip all the way to my room. What do you need?
Well, back when we were talking with the king, you seemed to know more than the others about who Everett Creighton is. And
I mean, that's all subjective. I know more than a rock knows about Everett Creighton.
Well, have you met the other three? They're basically rocks.
Should I tell Kara you said that?
Please don't. She'll maul me.
That's why I chose her.
Okay, have you met the other two besides Kiara? They're rocks.
They have their talents.
Is dying a talent?
Okay, one of them has their talents.
I'm sorry for the laughing there. Yeah. So, I guess the thing I want to talk to you about is I don't know where he is right now, but if we come across where he is, I want to stop him, and I'm definitely going to need help doing it.
Well, does he have evil intentions?
He's a slave trader.
Yes, I know what he is. That doesn't answer the question I asked you.
I mean, I wasn't privy to most of the plans, but I do know that I was part of a transaction with the Duke of Andarian for something that can't be good.
Very rarely does slave trading have anything to do with anything remotely good.
So apparently, I was I think it was a down payment on something. Weird to consider myself a down payment.
There's a lot of weird stuff. That actually doesn't even rank towards the top, but
Come to think of it, considering everything I've seen since the past couple of days, you're not wrong.
But here's the thing. He's not on the good side of this, and he's probably going to get caught up in this again somehow. So let's just say we're not going to care if it's a rabbit if it's still down the snake hole.
He has this look on his face of like he's trying his best to pretend like he knows what you just meant, but it's clear, like no insight check required. He has no clue what you just said. So that brings me to the second part of the question. Can you teach me how to fight better?
Aw.
Have you met me?
Yes, considering we're having a conversation.
I'm a fighter, not a teacher.
So that's a no then.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be willing to try. I'm just saying I would not be able to. Besides, you have talent. I can give you feedback on your fighting style, but sparring with me will not benefit you.
Yeah, hand to hand's a little different than fighting with a glaive.
What are your concerns about your fighting?
Well, most part, that fight on the ship was the first sort of real fight I've ever been a part of. Everything else, yeah, I'm a slave fighter, but it's all been for show. There was never real fear of dying.
Well, I can tell you that the first part of fighting you have down pat then. If you're not afraid of dying, then you're not going to have everything that you need to fight.
It just watching everybody on the ship, even if the crazy things happened there, you all seemed like you were so much, well, aside from Ponzi, so much better at it than I was.
How long have you been fighting?
Like I said, that was my first real fight. I've been doing the slave fighting thing for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I've been at it quite a bit longer. Kiara's been at it quite a bit longer. That's why we're more comfortable with it. See, fighting, you need to know that you're going to fear death, and you need to learn to embrace that. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to know that you're going to see some of the worst things that you can imagine, and that you may be responsible for some of those things that you see. But you have to accept that. And you're not just going to be able to do that. It's going to come with experience. There has never been a kill that I've been happy about. They're pretty much always necessary for various reasons. The evils of the world. But it doesn't make me any more happy about them.
I would imagine not.
But you're not going to learn that by me telling you.
No. No. I guess the final question I have here is, inevitably, when Greythorn and the rest of them make their way here, whenever you guys do leave, I know I'm supposed to stay here and give them the information, but once I do that, can I go with you guys?
What was that last part? I missed that.
So once I give all the information that I have to King Avalon, can I go with you guys?
Depends. I don't know what is in check for me after all this. I go where I'm called and go where I'm needed. And if I'm needed to continue to fight, and that is your call too, then by all means, you're more than welcome.
He looks for a minute, does the whole like monk bow thing. Thank you. This is really weird. I'm not used to talking to people who are just telling me what to do.
I'm not telling you anything of what to do. I mean,
It's
it's not my position to dictate others' lives to them.
like I said, it takes a little bit of getting used.
We'll enjoy it.
Thank you. And he sort of shuffles out. And do you want to get the door with your scythe, or should I just shut it?
Just leave it.
So he goes, leaves the door open, runs off. Still probably trying to find his way around the massive keep.
As he starts to run off, he hears the door gently click. So he knows that it wasn't pushed.
Gotta have him make an insight check here. Because he did see the fun part. He just sort of stops, looks back, shakes his head.
Oh yeah, for like it wouldn't take a lot to know that Kite was definitely being lazy, and he just summoned one of his echoes to shut the door for him.
Yeah. Shakes his head and goes,
Nice.
I want to be able to do that. Okay. So we've had that, and we have one more scene to shift to. Ponzi! Actually, hold on. You roll a dice. Hey, Ponzi, you're dead. No.
Funny you say that. So the scene cuts into Ponzi, who is unconscious in the room from having bonked his head on something.
Probably bonked his head pulling something out of the bag.
Exactly.
You're there, and you also hear a rapping on the door.
Let's open.
You hear the door open. Master Paul, what happened to you? And Chancellor Margrave is there.
Too much to explain in the short amount of time we have.
Well, interesting enough, apparently someone saw you last night, and you have a visitor. Says he's an old family friend. He's waiting for you in the front lobby.
An old family friend?
Old family friend, he says.
It took me a minute to figure who he was talking to, because he kept referring to you as young Master Lambo.
Oh, great.
Yes, we mustn't keep him waiting, so come on.
We can keep him waiting the rest of the day. I'm okay with this.
No, because he'll be in my lobby, and I don't want that to happen, so you will not keep him waiting.
Better your lobby than my room.
You are going to go into the lobby and meet him! Do not make me get Master Kite in here.
Do you want blood on your floor, too?
From what Alwyn tells me, he only bops you with the blunt end.
Fine. Let's go.
So you begrudgingly make your way out to the lobby. And I'm not going to make you make an insight check because you know immediately who this gentleman is when you see him. And, let me just show you a picture of this finely dressed gentleman. I love the inquisitive look on Champy's face.
Trevor, what's up with his face? Like,
Ponzi, this is an old friend of your mother's.
Uh-huh.
This is a apothecary by the name of... What?
Is it an old friend or an old rendered friend?
A little bit of both. Of your mother's by the name of Caspian Dura. Cut from the exact same cloth as your mother, who is you, but sleazier. I love the look on Champy's face of, is that possible?
yes.
Look what the cat hawked up.
Ah, yes. I still see you're as charming as ever, Poppins. Is that any way to treat an old family friend?
Yeah, no friend of mine.
Yes, well, I'm a friend of your mother's, and you know this. And besides, I'm not here to make small talk. I'm here for something, well, that I know you can't refuse. An easy way to make money.
I'm listening.
Yes. Come, let's walk out in the city. I find the confines of the keep a little stuffy.
Yeah, I was getting a little stuff in here. No money around. They seem to hide it all from me.
Can't imagine why they would do that. But anyway, yes, come now. So you start walking with Caspian out there, and he starts walking you down towards the business district. Now, what you do know of Caspian from when you would see him with your mother is he is a notorious high society snob. He has no time for anyone he deems to be barbaric and dirty, and everything that he does and makes is pristine. Whether it's useful or not is another story, but everything is always prim, proper, clean, and pristine. So he is walking down, and he goes, "Yes, so it's been a little while, but I've got myself established a little shop here in town called the Shiny Flask. And I'm here to ask for a little a paid favor. I've heard some scuttlebutt through the grapevine that tonight, of all things, when I have an event to attend to, that there's some thieves who plan to steal some items from my shop. And I would very much like to pay you and any of your acquaintances to stop them from thieving."
You want me to be a security guard?
I said you and your acquaintances. I saw you with the large-looking warrior man at the restaurant last night as I walked by.
You want my acquaintances to guard the place and me to make sure nothing's missing. Got it.
You're the only one who I would know who would actually know what most of the potions do. And aside from most of the other people I would hire, you're not barbaric.
Thank you, I think.
Well, you do need to shower, though the smell of stale booze is all over you. But that can be forgiven.
I mean, I'll have to check with Zeit and everyone, but
Well,
sure,
let's
we could.
just put it this way, okay? It's one night of security detail to stop a band of petty thieves, and it's 50 gold a person for whoever you bring.
What time do we need to be here?
Well, I have to leave the
Nice.
shop. I have to leave the shop around 6. So if you're there before that, and I can, let you in, and as long as nothing is stolen, you guys will be paid at the end of the night.
Okay. I mean,
And at this point, you have walked to the business district, and he shows you his humble shop, the Shiny Flask.
I'm sure we can make some arrangements to protect your wares.
Yes, I'm sure we can. Now, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm going to get back and work duty calls. And as he leaves, this would happen to be the path of the time where you would see Chloe coming from the educational district. And Chloe, you see Ponzi in front of this shop called the Shiny Flask.
Oh. So she runs over to Ponzi. Ponzi, what are you doing out over here? Are you looking for something?
No, someone found me and is offering us a job.
A job? What kind of job?
Security. Lost
Hey.
dimension.
They want you to help guard something to keep it from being taken?
Well, they want you and everyone else to guard it. They want me to make sure it's all there. Because I actually know what the stuff is, and y'all don't.
I see. I suppose
Yes.
we're not.
50 gold a pop, so yeah, that's not bad.
Actually, I'm rather low on funds lately. I suppose there's no problem with it. Although I'm not sure if we're having urgent matters or not. But well, anyway, I'm sure you know what's the catch.
Yeah, I didn't ask what the catch was.
You hear through
It's
the
the
window.
gold.
You hear through the window. There's no catch. You're just stopping thieves. I can hear you talking.
I'm assuming that's the person who hired us.
Yeah, he's a little sleazy, but yeah, so am I.
Which again makes me wonder what the catch is. Like if
He
you
doesn't want his stuff stolen.
Hmm.
He doesn't want other people to catch his stuff.
Right. Well, I suppose, and I mean, he's somebody that you trust.
No.
He's somebody that you know well.
Yes.
Okay, that's good enough. We'll probably want to be extra careful then, but I suppose if it's just some security detail, it can't be that bad. And we do need the money. I know I certainly do.
Yeah, I mean, if we get everyone, that's what? 300, 400 gold?
That'll be quite nice. I wonder if Zybe will even take his share. Oh, sorry, Kite. Regardless, we can ask them that when we see them. How is everybody?
I'd watch out for Dad. He seems a little cranky.
Noted. Ponzi, do you know anything about... she kind of lays down. She lowers her voice. Where's it called? Come on. I wrote it down. There it is. Pelops.
What? Make me an insight check, Fonzie. To save me from giving the whole explanation, you basically know what she knows from the book.
Yeah, so we kind of trade information back and forth that's the same.
Gotcha. So the good old illegal substances stuff. So she's I was just over at the college, and I did some investigation, and one of my professors, my actual personal mentor, has gone missing. And I found some notes stashed away and purposely hidden in his office, and they were talking about using that technology, magical technology, and I'm not sure exactly what that means for him, but it certainly can't be good. He's not one to usually dabble in illegal magics. So, while you might have something for us to look into to help line our pockets, which is greatly appreciated, I'd actually be very interested in maybe investigating this if we have the time, because I am very worried about my professor. Would you be interested in that?
Yeah, maybe. Figure it out. I'm sure it's not related.
Well, it does have to do with the slave trade. And considering everything we've been dealing with lately. Wait, were you being sarcastic?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I'll present it to the group when we see them again. Where is everybody else, by the way? Are they still back at the keep?
I assume so. I haven't been there in a little while.
Well, I do want to make sure I talk to them and tell them about this as well. And we should probably tell them about your venture, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, we need them to make the most money we can and also to, be successful.
Oh, yes, of course. I trust Kite and Akira more than I would ourselves regarding a building from ruffians. Well, if you have any more shopping to do, I won't stop you. But I do want to get back to the keep so I can talk to Kite and potentially Kira as soon as possible.
No, we can head back together.
I appreciate that. So we go on back to the keep.
Okay. So you two make it back to the keep, and you are met in... Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask the other two this. Are you done with your note-taking on books and or journals, or not?
Well, I mean, assuming I didn't find anything else, so yeah, I would go back.
Yeah, no, that is all you were able to find.
Yeah, so after she writes down a bunch of notes and whatnot, and she's going to keep that paper that fell out of the book.
Yeah.
She's going to... In fact, she might... It's an old book that can't technically be taken out, right?
Right.
Okay, she may try to take the book out anyway.
Kite
Of
is
course.
Kite is in the same position that he was when Kai left.
Okay.
In fact, you know what? Yeah, she's going to try to take the book out without anyone noticing.
Make a stealth check.
So-
And a sleight of hand check.
and both. Okay, so apparently with this thing, I get advantage on stealth checks with the +2 to my dexterity modifier, which I actually don't know how to do in the sheet.
Well, it shouldn't be dexterity modifier. It should be dexterity score. So basically, it's a +2 to dex.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, not a +2 to dexterity modifier. It should just be a +2 to dex.
Well, that's what it said.
Yeah, I know. I realized that as you said it. So yeah, it should be a +2 to dex.
Gotcha, okay.
Dex score.
So which do you want me to make first?
It doesn't matter.
All right. Hold on. But I think I do get advantage on stealth checks.
So the good news is you're not seen leaving with the book. The bad news is at some point Mrs. McNamara is going to realize the thing is missing.
Well, I mean, of course, but you know, she doesn't care much about that. She just cared about getting out with the book.
Oh yeah, with a 24 you get out no problem. Like, there is no way cranky Mrs. McNamara can catch that.
Cool. So yeah, so she takes the book back to the keep.
Okay, so back to her room in the keep? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, she's gonna take that back to her room in the keep with Llewellyn, obviously.
so Chloe and Ponzi, you are met in the lobby by nobody.
Well, I mean, at some point she'd go to the lobby, I would assume, but she wants to.
But you want to bring the book back first.
Yeah.
So yeah, you two arrive back and there's nobody in the lobby, the foyer, if you will.
Ooh, fancy. All right then. Well, if nobody's present, Chloe's gonna probably go up and who to talk to. She's gonna try to get in touch with Kite first. Do you want to come with Ponzi to explain the situation?
Sure, let's go. I'm sure what could happen.
So, go up to Kite's store. I'm not sure if they're clearly marked or not, but Ponzi can probably point it out to her.
Yes.
So, give me a wrapping on Kite's store.
Chloe and Ponzi hear kind of like a whooshing and then a thud in the door. And then it's Kite, once again, pulling the door open. This time his glaive is actually stuck in the wood of the door.
I love it.
Huh. Practicing your combat skills, Kite?
Hardly. And he goes back to writing in his notebook.
Oh, okay. I am deathly curious why you threw that glaive at the door.
I didn't throw it. I strategically put it in the door to act as a handle.
I see. I suppose that's like efficiency.
It's not like efficiency, it is totally efficient.
Are you in the middle of anything?
A room? Yes. Writing in my notebook? Yes.
God, I love how lawyerly you are.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you too much, but Ponzi and I
You precisely meant to interrupt me. That is why you came here.
He's not wrong.
He's not. We have some things to present to you. Ponzi has a job that he might have found for us, which I think could be useful. He assures me that it's on the level. Right, Ponzi?
It's security. On the level, who knows?
How much money are you getting paid?
50 gold a person.
That's how much you're getting paid, or that's how much each person is getting paid? There's a difference there.
It's 50 gold a person. So, yes, I get paid 50, you get paid 50. For each one of us who goes and defends it.
But that's not how you answered it. I asked how much you were getting paid. You're getting paid 50 gold regardless, then why do you need me?
Well, because if I'm unsuccessful, then I get paid nothing. And let's be honest. Am I going to stop a crook?
We're not exactly combat buddy.
I'm actually more shocked at the fact that you just said, let's be honest.
How rude!
How rude!
I am an honest businessman.
I don't know if I'd call you honest.
Chloe,
No, sorry. I'm more thinking like you don't really lie too much. It is true, I guess you don't lie very much. You just stretch the truth. Huh.
I prefer to call them truth enhancers.
So, tell me why you need me.
Because I can't fight to save my own life.
Literally. You've seen us fight in combat, Kite.
Did you ask Kiara yet?
No.
It's on our list.
Did you ask Kai yet?
Not yet.
And you came to the most grouchiest of the three of them to ask first.
I assumed you would be
Wasn't my choice.
You're the most dependable.
When I wanna be.
You've saved us out of so much trouble over the past, it's been a week, I think. But over the past several days, Kite, that I thought you'd be excellent at keeping us out of trouble once again.
That is trouble that you have gotten into as part of a journey with me. Who's this character that you're dealing with, Ponzi?
An old friend of my mother's.
Sounds foreboding.
Pretty much.
And is he trustworthy?
That kind of sells it.
So you're telling me to risk my back for someone that we don't know what they're going to do to us?
Well, they're trusting us with their potion shop, so they can't.
Okay, so this just keeps getting worse and worse because now you're telling me that you want me to guard something for a stranger who isn't exactly trustworthy, to guard a potion shop that I can't guarantee you won't steal stuff out of.
I
think it's right.
a thief, sir.
I witnessed you try to steal potions from multiple places.
That was not stealing. It was borrowing.
Can you return consumed items?
I was going to get them the ingredients.
For a salesman, you're doing a very poor job.
You act surprised by this.
No, really, I'm not.
Yet to make a sale since y'all showed up. It's really hurting the bottom line.
Well, at the very least, the gentleman that he spoke to swore that there was no catch to the entire endeavor, which certainly means there's a catch. But we have time to prepare ourselves. And I think the ability to prepare ourselves for whatever might befall a potion shop in the middle of a business district in the capital of the country, I think that's pretty good, because at least we know the area, and we have time.
So why is my time more valuable to guard a potion shop of an untrustworthy man that I have never met based off of the recommendation of Ponzi compared to what I was doing?
I suppose there's no reason to force it. It's more that We would really appreciate it if you joined us, and it would probably make things a lot easier and less dangerous.
Scary, you don't have to come with me. You think I'm a thief anyway.
Well, yes, I do. But if you're trying to trick me into coming with, that's not the way to go about it.
Why would we try to trick you?
He's trying to make me think or feel guilty by saying it that way, that he doesn't really need me.
I don't. I'm going to take care of this on my own.
Well, not on your own.
Go talk to Kai and Kiara and let me know what they say. I want to concentrate on this a little bit longer.
All right. We'll be right. We'll be back, hopefully. She steps out. Do you leave as well, Ponzi?
Oh, yeah. Ponzi's coming.
Okay. Oh.
You guys hear the same thing that Kai heard when he left? Just a gentle click of the door. And you guys knew that Kite was not moving anywhere to get up to get that door.
He seemed to be in an especially foul mood.
No more than usual. Whatever. Don't need him.
I feel a little bit scared not involving him, considering everything, but at the very least we can talk to Kai and Kira and see what they have to say. How is Kira after last night?
I don't know.
You don't know. Did nobody talk about anything after I left?
Not really.
Nothing at all?
They ate and drank a lot.
But really, nothing at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know if I'm relieved or offended.
I mean, you could be accused of being a thief.
Why would I be a thief? Oh, you're not a thief, Ponzi. You're just unscrupulous.
I would never steal. It's so wrong.
Well, you'd rather steal people's money, I assume, with sales than by taking it out of their
Not
pockets.
stealing. I
Huh.
provide them with something.
We should probably talk to Kira and see if she's interested at all in this. I don't think I did it too well, though, this time. Did you want to present her to her?
No, not really.
But you're the salesman.
Clearly I'm not, because no one's buying from me anymore since y'all showed up.
Well, now I feel guilty again. Fine. So Chloe takes point and goes to Kiara's door. She knocks on it.
Takes a little bit, but Kira answers. And she looks at us like, oh, hi.
Chloe's like looking down at her feet. Hi.
But I suppose we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we probably do.
Come on in.
Ponzi's with me.
That's fine. Just means I probably won't talk about what else. Come on in.
All right. So she shuffles in.
Both of you, yeah. She beckons both of you to come in. So, can I help you with?
Well, let's get the first thing out of the way first. Ponzi has a business venture for us that he ran into with an associate of his that they were willing to pay us for some security detail for an evening.
security detail for an evening. She looks at Ponzi. He's like, and you know this person we're doing this for?
I mean, yes.
You don't sound very.
It's my mother's friend.
Oh. See. How is your mother?
Slimy and not satisfying.
I was trying to find out if she was dead or not. Mostly because it would be really dependent on how you answered that question, considering, we're apparently going out on a limb for this. But what are we doing exactly?
Defending a potion shop from thieves.
How did a potion shop have thieves?
I don't know.
It does sound a bit. It sounds kind of schemy, which makes me concerned.
Kind of schemy.
Well, if it's an associate of Ponzi's. No offense to you, Ponzi.
None taken.
But it does feel like it would be somebody who's probably not too morally clean.
I like a good scheme. And this definitely a good scheme.
But at the same time, we're kind of in need of some funds.
Oh, are we?
I am, at least. Alright.
I guess I could use some as well. Human society seems to have this need for money.
It is especially frustrating. I agree.
So how much is this?
Then?
It's 50 gold per person.
So we all get 50 gold for doing this?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, do I count as a person?
Oh, Lou! Oh, I'm so sorry for leaving you.
You did just leave him last night.
I was just so surprised. And really caught off guard, and this isn't the time.
Possibly. I could swing that. I mean, I could pull that.
Pull what?
Getting the book counted as a person.
Gotcha.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was distracted by embarrassment.
We couldn't tell due to all the entire fact that your body went red, man.
Yes.
Well, on the good news, you did it without casting prestidigitation.
I'm not very good at that spell yet.
On the bad news, that's very hard for a book to say with no tongue.
I did admittedly miss you a bit through the night, Llewellyn.
He's actually been very helpful over the past few hours.
Oh, how so?
We went to a library and everything. It was amazing.
Oh, marvelous.
Yes.
What did you read up on?
Oh, just some things about the history between my tribes and humans.
Did you find anything of note?
Yeah. Yes, I did. She has the stance like she's not about to tell you.
Very well. Well, if I could ever help you to look over any notes, just let me know, of course, but I'm sure that's very personal, so I won't pry. But I'm very happy that Lou was able to help you.
Yes. Speaking of personal, we should probably talk. She looks over at Ponzi's like, I agree to your little job here.
You know something, Ponzi? I think I would like to go with you.
She blinks, but Kira just literally just immediately hands Llewellyn over to Ponzi.
Sweet, I can sell the book finally.
Oh, this is going to be a problem. They're going to have an adventure.
Like, she doesn't even consider, she clearly doesn't even consider what she's doing, with the fact that, it's not her book to give away.
Lou has a mind of his own anyway, so Chloe doesn't object. But she does look at Ponzi and say, I think we might need a moment. Would you present your idea to Kai and see if he's interested? Please, Ponzi.
Here you go.
No, Luke can go with you for now.
Oh, okay, come on.
Do you actually think I'm staying here for this? Absolutely not. I will suffer a lot of things. The one thing I will not suffer is, and the whole book shakes, girl talk.
You're right. Let's go.
Girl. She looks at Loa like, what do you mean by girl talk?
Yeah, we're girls and we'll be talking. I suppose that's all they require.
Oh, okay. Humans in books apparently are weird.
Especially talking ones.
Yes. I guess that's what I meant.
So Ponzi and Lou walk out the door, and we will stay right here.
Oh, joy!
Girl talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
So, Kira kind of gives a sigh and is finally like, alright, so...
Chloe's like playing with the tails of her pigtails, like,
Okay. Yes, I'm the one who's been getting your letters. Yes, I didn't tell you. Mostly because I really didn't know what to say. Especially when I figured out that you were the one sending them. It's been a very strange experience.
that's certainly how it feels right now. So I can only imagine how it felt for you.
Oh, it was very strange indeed. I'm not really used to caring about humans.
Karen,
Yeah, caring. Because, well, to be honest, I don't really trust humans much.
I got that perception, which is why I was a little bit concerned when I found out that you were the one that was taking my letters, or having my letters.
I wouldn't say taking your letters, that's how they get delivered to me.
How much of you is really you? Kira, or Yuna, or...
It's all me. I didn't lie to you in the letters other than my name. Because I wasn't actually sure what to put, to be quite honest with you.
So Kira is your real name?
Hit it. Kira is my real name, yes.
Well, that's...
Yuna was a name I quickly picked out of my mind, because again, I was not really sure how to react to finding a letter from a human.
I have to admit, I'm not really sure what to do in this situation. I honestly felt like a lot of what I was doing when I was writing my letters and sending them out to you, was sending my thoughts and feelings kind of out into the ether.
Well, I mean, you can look at it like that. Because you kind of were.
But you read them all.
Of course I did. You sent them to me.
I certainly...
You kind of easily get the feeling, again, that she's not really clued into how personal this was for you.
Kira, it's just... I'm not very used to opening myself up like that to people in general. I feel very exposed.
Oh, well, I mean, you're pretty safe here. There's nothing around.
I don't mean literally. I mean emotionally. As in, I told you things I don't want people knowing. I have letters I've not even sent you yet. There's a lot of sides of myself that I don't feel very comfortable with everybody in the group knowing about yet. Just because...
Anybody.
I appreciate that. I certainly appreciate it if you kept a lot of things I told you that were personal especially things about my family or my innermost thoughts.
I have no reason not to. There's no reason for me to talk about any of that to anyone here.
I feel a little confused, though. What do we do now?
I mean, well, right now we're going to go apparently guard a potion shop.
I suppose that is the thing to do. Focus on the next step. But I mean, writing letters is extremely helpful to do for you, to help organize my thoughts and to make sense of the way I feel about things. But it feels silly to send them to you when you're right next to me.
You could always talk, but it was very good to read your letters because one, they gave me a lot of information. And two, it was just kind of interesting to have somebody, a human, talking to me.
I felt the same way about having Lagoose talk to me.
Well, I'm sure you don't really tend to interact with the human world much, but I wanted to learn more about it because of what I'm doing out here.
My goodness, did I give you information to help you kill somebody?
No, not yet.
I suppose that's good.
I didn't say which not yet. As
yes.
You haven't given her the information or she hasn't killed anyone with it yet.
I suppose I explained your interest in the political sphere a lot more knowing who you are now.
Yeah, I mean, that's some of the information I found is in that book that Llewellyn helped me find.
I think I've given you a very poor impression of myself.
I don't think so.
Well, no, I just...
You seem to be exactly like your letters.
But I feel like I've been extremely flighty and pushing too hard and just making you feel terrible all the time.
I haven't felt terrible all the time.
Even after the whole incident with the catnip?
What? You got me catnip. What's wrong with that?
You just seemed very displeased with me after that.
No, I wasn't displeased. I was surprised. You guys went out and went through whatever it is you went through to get that for me. I was not expecting that.
I wasn't expecting it either, but my feet and my mouth moved before my brain.
Well, it happens sometimes.
What does the rest of the group think? Sorry.
Rest of the group think about what?
About all of this, knowing that I've been writing you letters, and
I haven't told a single person other than Llewellyn figured it out before you did.
And did nobody talk about after I ran out last night?
No.
Nobody?
No. I think most of us were kind of drunk. Llewellyn figured you were going back to your room at the college, and yeah, he figured you were safe, I guess.
Oh, the college, that reminds me. Oh, this is actually very important.
Oh?
One of my professors, takes a deep breath. I went there and I was going to sort of collect myself and then come here. But when I went there, I discovered that one of my professors, my mentor, had gone missing. And it seems like they might have been under somewhat mysterious circumstances. I went into his office, which was warded, and the wards only opened for me. And they kept everybody else out, which was very mysterious to begin with. But on top of that, when I was looking through his shelves, I found a strange book that mentioned these sort of illegal magic crystals that were used in the slave trade that he was clearly researching.
She holds her hand up immediately, and she's like, "This sounds like something we should tell the entire group."
Right.
You have to repeat yourself.
That makes perfect sense. Yes.
That sounds really important.
That's true. I explained it to Ponzi already, but yeah, I should probably tell it to Kite and Kai and then.
Not trying to shut you up, but just thinking you don't have to tell the story 6 times.
That makes perfect sense. But yeah, long story short, though, I definitely want to look into this, but I'll explain the rest to the group.
Of course, yes.
Look at the chance.
Sounds actually kind of dire from what you were talking about, but
Indeed, I'm not sure how urgent it is, but I definitely want to look into it.
of course.
And Kite said, "Oh, sorry, go
I
on."
have a job to do. Had we known that beforehand, I might have said, skip the job. Let's go look into your mentor, but we have a job that we've agreed to.
Indeed, and the job might help us to look for Professor Rail Creek as well.
Well, that and it'll help us get his funds, so.
That's more what I was thinking.
Because again, you humans seem to be obsessed with gold, silver.
Yes, it's kind of a necessary component in magical spells as well.
I mean, as far as coin goes.
Yes, that's what I mean.
You have to pay money for your magic?
I'll just say that spell components aren't cheap.
You have to pay for spell components? Why don't you just, grow them or,
It's difficult sometimes when you're trying to learn a new spell, you don't know how much you're going to use. It's just, long story short, learning new spells is very difficult and costly. And if I'm going to do any kind of learning of the spells that I need to learn, I need to be able to fund myself.
Why don't you just go out to a field and meditate? That's what most of my tribe does when they're trying to learn new magic.
It's a bit more difficult for humans, I feel.
Wouldn't say it was easy for my tribe. Of course, granted, we weren't trying to learn complicated spells, mostly spells that help us with growing, food and survival. Tribe does pretty well, actually.
I would actually love to learn that someday.
Well, we'll worry about that someday.
Someday.
For now, we have both the job and you need to explain what happened to your mentor to everybody. So let's go,
Of course.
everybody.
Indeed. Hopefully Ponzi's having luck with Kai.
And that's a wonderful time to transition to the walkover with Ponzi and the book.
Ponzi and Llewellyn, this is going to be amazing.
Hey, Llewellyn?
Yes. What can I help you with, sir?
Can we go on a sideshow tour?
A sideshow tour. Where I present you like a caged animal and people pay money to see you?
I was going to present you as a talking book, but I like that idea too.
Well, I mean, I think people are much more likely to come see the caged alchemist who is enslaved by the talking book than the talking book in general because, well, if you make me mad, I can just not talk and you make no money.
That's me.
Is it, though?
It's fair. Okay. Well, got any other ideas? I like that one. That's a good one.
My first idea is figuring out how to make sure I get on the payroll for this job because I will be there helping.
Why do you need money?
Do you know how expensive the good ink is?
I mean, yes.
Okay then. And if Madam is spending all of her share on spell components, I need to make sure I get the right ink for the job.
I'll make sure you get the good ink. Also, would you like an upgraded spine?
No, nothing that you're gonna make. This spine has been with me for well over 5. You don't need to know how old I am.
So what you're saying is you're old.
What I'm saying is I've forgotten more things about potion making than you could ever learn.
I wasn't gonna make your spine. I was gonna get you a nice new shiny one.
With you have to be shiny, sir. Let's just go present your case to Kai and see what he says.
But okay, fine. We're not done with this discussion now.
We can have more later. You're right, fine. While we're waiting for the thieves to attack. So
You think that's a trap?
I think there's something that's not being told to us. I don't think it's a trap. I don't think anyone who's trying to run a business would willingly put people who are associated with the royalty into a trap.
Fair point.
That would be bad for business. Anyway, I believe this is the room you're looking for. And the bookmark points to Kai.
Fine. Ponzi knocks on the door.
Well, the door's open. You can see Kai.
Oh, this is awkward.
You can see him just sort of like sitting there cross-legged, meditating.
Ponzi does that awkward knocks on the door as he walks in.
As you do that, he doesn't move, but a small chill like runs down the back of your neck.
That's
You hear this. So you did feel that.
What did you just do to me?
Centering myself and practicing. I can make fire, but I was seeing if I could do anything else. And apparently, I can.
That was creepy. Don't do it again.
Do it again? Okay. Another chill runs down your spine.
Stop!
Oh, you said don't do it again. I'm sorry. But why are you here? Did Kite send you?
Sort of.
Oh, this is how he wants me to train with you? All
I
right.
don't know if I should be insulted or honored by this.
He stands up, cracks some knuckles. All right, how are we doing this?
You're gonna go fight some thieves in front of a potion shop. You get 50 gold for doing it.
I'm sorry. 50 gold for stopping some thieves?
Yeah,
I'm in.
easy enough.
Like, I would have done it for like 5. 50? That's
Shut up.
what?
He'll lower the rate if you tell him how much you'll really do it for.
Are you the one paying me?
No.
Then you're not going to lower the rate.
I was gonna take your cut, but yeah, that's fine.
I want to point something out to you, Ponzi. And he balls his fist up. He goes, "This hurts more than the back of Kite's glaive."
At this point, I'm not so sure about that.
Really want to try it? And he starts running after you with a fist. And we're going to make our way back down to where everybody is with the comedic scene of Llewellyn flapping behind them and Ponzi and Kai in this sort of like Benny Hill thing of them chasing each other.
Do the Scooby-Doo thing where we go into the different
Different doors.
Right. It's like looking back and forth. Oh, okay.
And Chloe, you notice that it's just Llewellyn casting Dimension Door because it's funny. No, he doesn't actually know Dimension Door, but
That's fine. It works.
We'll allow it for the plot.
Yes.
Exactly. Or the joke.
Yes. Kite, you
Kira's
do hear
also obviously there.
a bunch of this ruckus happening outside your room.
He grabs one of his kunai and just throws it as hard as he can against the wall. And it sticks. And it has that ping sound.
Where everyone just stops and looks at the door that's just slightly creaked open. Well, it's your job, Ponzi, and Kai just pushes Ponzi towards the door.
Actually, Kira's going to walk over to his room, and despite the loud thump from the, she's going to knock politely.
Kite just looks over at Kira.
Was the door open? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it creaked open when he threw the kunai.
Okay, that's fine.
So you knocking actually just pushes it a little bit further.
Gotcha. So she kind of sort of looks in, but obviously isn't coming in until you say something.
Do you realize how many times they've already interrupted me today?
No, I don't. I haven't.
It's very hard to strategize when people keep interrupting.
Well, apologies, but Chloe actually has something rather important and urgent to speak about, and then Ponzi has something he wants to do, whatever. But I think you should hear this before you go back to your strategizing.
I've already heard Ponzi.
Not Ponzi, Chloe.
I may have forgotten a bit of a detail, something I did want to talk to everybody about, and Ponzi already knows. It's probably important to share with you.
Kite grabs the end of the glaive, of which is still stuck in the door, and pulls the door open the rest of the way.
These poor doors.
It's a neat handle.
It is efficient. Kite is a very efficient person.
Absolutely.
He makes his own.
You just hear Llewellyn flap over to Chloe and go, and by efficient, he means lazy.
Well, efficiency breeds laziness. Or rather, the other way around.
He's the one who can make copies of himself. He probably has him closing the door for him.
I could see that being useful. I do the same thing on my chance.
He's done that. He's absolutely done that.
Anyway.
Sorry.
I've also stabbed a book or two in my lifetime.
I wouldn't doubt that either. But yes, again, apologies for interrupting whatever you were up to, but as I said, Chloe has something very important to say to the group, and I thought you should hear it.
So yes, Kite. In addition to the job that Ponzi found for us, I actually ran into him after I went and visited my college.
Kira immediately said something like, we should probably do this in the rest of the group, not just in front of his door.
Oh, well, Ponzi already knows, but I suppose it's true.
Well, there's other people, too.
Well, I mean...
The Prince and Kai.
I suppose they...
Here! I looked and waves at you.
Yeah. Well, as I said, like, standing in front of his door instead of...
Right. Can everybody meet in Kai's room? And I'm sorry, in
Kai's room. The lobby.
Why the lobby? Okay, fine. Let's all meet in the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Why am I getting up?
Again, this appears to be important.
Or how about, since everyone's here, how about I just go get the prince and bring him back here?
Yes, if you would mind.
Everybody... Yeah.
That does sound like the best idea, yes. Thank you, Kai.
He runs off and
I thought everybody was waiting in, like, a lobby or rest area or, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She just doesn't want to have this in Kite's room because it feels very rude.
Really? Oh.
It feels very rude, as if Kite hasn't already been intruded on multiple times.
Well, she doesn't know that, and she thought she was being like, this is urgent kind of a thing. She's been gone the rest of the day.
Right. So Kai goes to get the prince?
Yeah, it takes him about 5 minutes, but he gets back and Alwyn looks annoyed that he's being dragged from place to place. Obviously, he was in the middle of something. Was like, okay, come here, all right.
During that 5 minutes, Kite is looking over at the page that he was writing on, gets very frustrated, makes a bunch of scribble marks, and like angrily flips to the next page.
Oh, it's writing a letter.
Yeah, so it takes him a minute, but they're all come back, and he's like,
all right. Once everybody's kind of gathered, Chloe's just gonna start telling them about what she found at the institute, about her professor being missing and going to his office and read wards, and then she would bring up the illegal magical crystals that were apparently connected to the slave trade that he was looking into, potentially before he went missing. And it all seems extremely suspicious. But also, I'm extremely worried for my mentor. He doesn't usually go missing without any sort of notice, and this is especially strange. Considering that what we've been doing is connected to the slave trade, I really would appreciate it if you would all help me to look into this as well.
How would one go missing if he gave notice of it?
No, he didn't go missing. I'm sorry, he went missing. He usually gives notice when he leaves for long periods of time. He didn't give a notice this time.
Understand.
So, I know it's a bit to ask because it is dealing with clearly illegal substances. But considering it seems related to what we're doing, can I ask you all to help me with this?
Give an insight check.
Insight check. There you are. Oh dear. It's 16.
Okay, you didn't need a perception check. You could tell Kite is a little annoyed. And his annoyance isn't at the fact that it may be illegal. So, you just
It's
know.
not. It's a.
It's not at that.
Gotcha.
So Kira kind of gives like a look over at Kai and kind of gives a shrug, which he clearly understands. That it's like, well, she said it was important.
Kai's like, well, I mean, I'm in. Like, if it's going to stop anyone else from ending up like me, you know I'm in.
Well, I also worry that he might be in danger just because dealing with these kind of things is not something he typically does. And going missing makes me doubly concerned.
Why would he be interested? Why would he have things about the slave trade, though?
I don't know. That's not something he's usually done. Especially when these are magical crystals that are used to hide some people being transported from magical detection. That's extremely illegal.
You think he's doing the opposite then? Like,
I don't think so.
taking slaves and freeing them or something along those lines.
I think if he was trying to hide the fact that he was doing them, he would have done a better job than making his room only accessible to me and putting the book in a spot where I would notice it.
Maybe that's exactly what he wanted.
How do you mean? Like, he wants to draw me out?
More specifically, if he's into something illegal like freeing slaves, which I have to assume in the human society is illegal, he probably would figure at some point he was going to need help.
Well, freeing slaves, absolutely, but this was for transport. Oh,
Transporting slaves, right?
you could transport them out of captivity.
That's what I'm suggesting. Now, again, I obviously don't know, but
That is worth investigating.
that seems to me like the obvious. If assuming your mentor was not a slave trader,
No, of course not.
well, then the only explanation I can think of is that he was hiding slaves to remove them from their owners.
That would make sense.
Or there's a different option.
What's that?
I don't think if your professor person is as noble as you say, he would be trying to make them. Maybe he's trying to figure out how to break them.
That's also possible.
It is.
But he
So-
wouldn't necessarily need to leave.
Well, he might not have had a choice.
That's also
Well, if Everett Creighton's involved in this and he got any wind of anyone trying to stop his trade, he'd put a hit out on him.
That is also something I was thinking that it might be related to him.
that is a fair point. Yes.
And if these are magical crystals, then that might be the deal that Everett Creighton has going with the Duke of Andaria. That I was part of
Rapidly writing down notes.
the What was that?
Chloe starts rapidly writing down notes, as does the player.
At this point in the conversation, you hear the clock of the city toll. And you have about a half an hour to get yourself down to the Shiny Flask for your job.
Already?
You guys have been talking an awful lot today.
Chloe's got to prepare in her room like she was going to put her spells together for this kind of a job. Oh, nuts. Oh, well. Time to just wait.
So Kira looks over towards Kite and is like, would you mind tagging along? At the very least, you'll probably have a lot of quiet to work out whatever you are, because it's unlikely anything's going to happen. Jinx.
It's
Yeah.
Ponzi. Something's gonna happen.
And then at that point, we would need your help. You're a very capable warrior, and I would like to not be the only one there who...
And Kai looks extremely offended when you say that.
While Kira is going through her monologue to Kite, Kite is still frantically scribbling in his notebook angrily at this point, and flips the page angrily again.
Goodness, what is it you're working on?
Hopefully something that will still matter He takes a book, throws it underneath his pillow. Rips the glaive out of the door. With his other hand, goes over, grabs a kunai, pulls that out of the door.
Owen's just looking like, my doors.
Yeah. Oh, they're yours. Yeah.
Let's
My
go.
cabbages!
Thank you.
And after Kite says, let's go, he just walks out of the room, turns around. One of you better shut that door.
Kira actually just goes and shut it for him. Because, again, she respects it as a warrior, so she does it for him.
And that, one of you better shut that door. And that is where we're going to end the session.
There you go.
So thank you all very much for watching. On behalf of Feeling and Ice, Crimson Addicts, No Racer, and OPT Lawyer, I am your Dungeon Master, TGE, reminding you to, of course, as always, keep hailing.